Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Songs of Conquest, where the waves of attacking undead remain endless, but are starting to get extremely frequent as well, which is really kind of a huge problem for us. So we need to claim some beacons of power without losing a bunch of beacons of power, somehow in a real hurry here. We can take Murkoth's army with Bigly, we know we can, but doing so puts us in kind of a dangerous position. And we still need to be claiming other stuff. Is there a way, am I allowed to like disband this army? Because it would actually be really useful if I could put Nimander somewhere else, if we could like destroy his army and then spawn him at a different one of the northern locations. As it is, he can't compete, he can't participate in the battle in any way. Like all of the forces in this army are just wasted, and that feels terrible given what we're up against. But like if the portal won't work, there's no way for us to get. And the text of the beginning of the mission really made it seem like that portal was going to turn back on at some point. But I guess not. Okay, so we need to get this beacon of power, which we can do with everything. Trying to figure out, like, what do I think is the move here? We have to get that beacon of power, and it looks like this will allow me to hit this keystone, which will open up a little bit more travel, another path for travel, but most critically will unlock the ability to activate this beacon right next to this town. This one feels controllable. There's going to be undead flooding in, and we just have to figure out how to get control of the beacons we need faster than we are losing stuff. Where does this portal go to? Is there an indicator? There's not an indicator on the map, right? Like on the mini map. I remember it being somewhere that I thought was useful, but now I don't remember at all. And unfortunately, because it's the same color as the waterfall, every time we scroll past a waterfall, oh right, it goes down here. This is not, in fact, very useful. Okay, so with everything having no troops, we're going to have to do at least a small amount of fighting to get access to the stuff we need. I guess I could just go activate, if I just hit this beacon and then back off, Bigly can teleport up here, but it looks like it's going to take 2 turns to do that. Bigly can be, during those 2 turns, I guess, marching up to here. We can probably make that distance in 2, right? Bigly's very fast. Yeah, I think I can get to that beacon. And we'll make the teleport from there. Nimander, you just can't help at all. And you need to go this way as quickly as possible. Yeah, see, this is what I was worried about. If Aurelius legions are going to be claiming my beacons, then that is going to make this a lot harder. Okay, the Rana are coming. We know that. We had to reload from a save just before that guy spawned, unfortunately. Okay, it looks like I can get to this army this turn. We don't even know what's up here. There might be another beacon even. All right, the dragon battle seems like it's going to be pretty straightforward. Whoever uses the beacons will die. I know. I think that seems to be the plan. We all get it. We all get this plot, right? I will accept that. That's fine. Let's take a lot of spell damage resistance. Okay, we don't get to touch the beacon this turn. Commander, you don't get to do anything. All right. So we're going to lose settlements to the Rana army, but it's not necessarily that big of a deal. Like, the settlements aren't the thing that we're after. Okay, so that's a beacon of power. That's a beacon of power. Then we use this beacon to teleport to right here, which does not allow me to reach this area. Shoot. The only way in here is from the north, it looks like. Actually, this is I think a cliff. It's always so hard to tell. All right, well then, beacon again. We're teleporting to here, and we're running to that beacon, taking advantage of Bigley's extremely high move speed. Guess you may as well go generate some gold. And you... If the Rana are converting that town and they're sticking to the conversion plan, I might be able to have Everthink, like, disappear into the portal and pick up, like, if we build a rally point here, just pick up some units real quick. Oh, okay, no, Nimander can join now. Now that the Rana are coming, they've burned the path, so the portal is available. Okay, that's going to help a lot. Having a third army in the area is going to be hugely beneficial. All right, they're slowing down a little bit because they're stopping to grab all the buildings, which helps a lot. Although they are headed north now. And there is no way for a player army to survive fighting both of them, I wouldn't think. So that's a bummer. Okay, this is actually a lot of dragons. Let's do this one manually, just to be sure. Well, you know what? It actually... It was represented... I feel like it looked like a different number of dragons than the last battle, but it is, in fact, the same number of dragons as the last battle. And they have 7 movement, which is a little scary. Does that actually get you all the way over there? That's crazy. Okay, we have to back up some of our troops, I think. So we can kill 1 to 2 troops on each of these. I think we gotta take the onslaught here. And do we also sabotage? Because I might be able to remove a pretty fair number of these dragons from the table right this second. Nimander also has Justice 3. So what are we actually looking at here? This is 150 to 250. The dragon stack has 640 health in total. Wait, why is it 250? I must not be calculating in all of something. Yeah, 235 to 393 with our offense is so much higher than their defense. Okay. So yeah, on a double attack, it is totally possible that we could do about 800 damage and just kill them both. I guess let's go ahead and fire it. I'm not... If I do this, we'll spend 4. Actually, we'll be able to do the Justice anyway. I'm going to go ahead and hit Sabotage. Excellent. Excellent news. Yeah, our Piper friends here are able to generate enough chaos that we can justice this stack. And then if people just back up, we can make this stack not able to reach us right away. Like, you can just stand back here. Yeah, there's no wielder here or anything, so we'll justice this stack of them as well. Fall back to here and hit aim. And then they can't actually get close enough to do very strong attacks. Although they can super focus on the cannons, I suppose. And then, as ever, the shadows can just clean up everything that survived. Yeah, I don't feel too bad about that. That's fine. There's a version of that where I don't lose the cannon, but I'm not gonna stress too much about it. Okay, so that's got us on 7. So that one guy's up here already. They're really, really fucking fast. By the time we can get an army over here, we will have lost another one. There was a beacon where the... Yeah, there's a beacon down here. See, this is tricky because a wielder is about to come out of this settlement, right? Yeah, Nemander is able to get over there, but, like, is Nemander getting over there good enough? Because he's not going to be able to get past... In order to get down here, we'd have to run all the way to the east. And I don't think I can take that guy. Let me move everything over here. Because if we get everything over here, we can see, yeah, what's in this army. And then we can compare that to the strength of Nemander's army and see that, yes, it is probably impossible. Well, the other thing we could do is there's a beacon over here. Yeah, that's an idea, maybe. Let's have you use this beacon to warp here. And then we just try to run down and recap this before... Because they'll probably stop to attack the village, right? So if I can recap this beacon before Murkoth's forces reach this one, then we get to 8, and presumably we just use the power of the beacons to annihilate all of our foes. So Nemander is going to go and finish recruiting a real army with our 74,000 gold. First of all, let's fill up the stacks of good stuff that we already have. Secondly, let's grab some cannons. Then... we have enough artificers for another stack of artificers. I don't actually think this guy's very good. And then, like, we don't actually have that much ranged. We don't have a stack of these guys. We only have 4 more cannons. I guess this is the army. The archers are not, like, they're not horrible. All right, I guess let's see how this turns out. Everything is just dead, I think. Yeah, probably. Interesting. So Murkoth seems to have gone east. Yep, you make the infinite distance because of course you do. So Murkoth, it looks like he knows what we're doing and he's coming this way. Yep, he made it all the way to here, impossibly enough. Well, if we can win, we don't have to win by very much, right? Yeah. All of your big mouth nonsense. The quick battle is not going to be kind to us. There's no reason to even attempt it. I might want to go pikes up here. So it's overwhelming, but that doesn't mean that we lose. It just means that we're gonna have to do a really good job with our magic. And I'm gonna need them not to cast Justice on my cannons 10,000 times. Oh man, look at this. Look at this. These guys don't have Essence Shield. Okay. So Onslaught for the cannons. Yeah, I think we're gonna be... I hope we're gonna be okay. We just have to survive. So let's do some damage to that big unit there. Your stats will be most impressive if you are surrounded by multiple enemies. I think I might run down here. Yeah, because we need somebody to stop this push. Oh, I did not mean to attack the rats. I meant to move into the space. Well, that's annoying. So yeah, the onslaught here does not prevent us from fireballing, because it doesn't cost any destruction. So even though it's no longer ideal, it's still, I think, pretty good overall. Then we drop a fireball and get... yeah, some decent number of kills. Wait a minute, is that... okay, I'm having trouble reading the stuff because of the overlaps, but this is the right thing to do. I thought it was saying it was only going to kill 2 of the rats, and I was like, hold on, that can't be right. Let's have you fall back to the corner and play us all a beautiful song. All right. Yeah, probably I want to move the Artificer up here and take this shot. That kills most of that back stack off as well. Alright, your shit is all fucked up. We could just aim for the turn, I suppose. Yeah, I don't love it, but pretty dire shape, actually. Okay, and nobody gets to retaliate against this guy. Is we're going to be able to justice this stack once or maybe even twice before it gets to do anything. So I think my plan is to just have the shadow clear this stack out. You weren't here for the rats, but you may as well finish the job that you started. Okay, and then yeah, these guys we can take down, obviously. Have a justice of your own, which is fair. We still have the ability to rally, but if I rally, I can't cast justice again. Whereas right now, I believe if I do this, it's going to pull this Piper up above. Yeah. If I play the song, it pulls the other Piper up above this thing's initiative value and generates the justice necessary to clear it. And then we end up in this position where somehow we're in really great shape, despite the fact that this battle should probably have been tougher based on how hard we were told it was going to be. So we get to double tap you. I get to just kill you with the butt of the gun. All right, and I do believe that the Lightbringer is too far north to get to us at this point. So even though this army is not in a position to be able to replenish it all, I don't think we're in any danger of getting wiped out before we reach the beacon. You know what? Sure. Creation essence. There's magic that I didn't know how to do. Can you believe it? All right. So if we touch this without losing a beacon, we just win. Commander can get down here. Everything was not killed because it took... This town will be converted in 0 rounds. Is a little confusing, but fine. What it should have said last turn, like it said last turn, this will be converted in 1 round, which would mean to me that now, 1 round later, it would be converted. But I guess it doesn't work like that for whatever reason. I'm going to go grab this Arcana Spire. Here's something I can do that will have some positive effect. Wait, if that's a beacon, that solves a lot of our problems right there. I didn't realize that there was a beacon all the way over here in this corner. I guess I must have known that there were more beacons than we could see because we can't see 3 beacons controlled by the Rana. In any case, I think we're looking all right. As long as this guy doesn't... Yeah, okay. They claimed our gold mine. That's fine. We can live with that. So let me start with Everthink. Yeah, Everthink, in fact, just walks over here and claims this undefended beacon. Okay, you will win in 3 rounds unless someone stops you. Wow. 5 offense, 5 defense. Pretty solid. So that means I am going to still... Yeah, we want to still come back and take this because... that gives us insurance. Now we can lose a beacon and still have things turn around. And I guess I may as well go and set this into raise mode. Right, there's no reason to let them have a place to replenish. Although maybe the smarter move would be to run, like to sell this stone pit, turn it into a rally point, and just have him run hard for the rally point so that he's ready to fight if we have to fight, because he's certainly not in position to take down that Lightbringer army now. Yeah, it probably doesn't matter. Let's get out of here. And Nimander can come through the portal. But he's a little bit trapped. Well, Relock now reads as risky. Maybe we just go over and jump him. If I beat him, that makes it much less likely that we lose any of the beacons. It makes it much less likely that we lose any beacon except for this one. Yeah, I mean, if we can do it, I think we got to do it. Defeating him and then taking out this settlement would make our position so much more secure. A massive Ethdraw marched out to meet with Nimander before the battle. Wielder, I am Nimander Breeze, and this area is under my protection. I request that you return to your swamp, and we will leave you be. No, humans have hunted Rana for generations to keep as slaves. You will not change. I know this. Well, not all humans trade in slaves. I mean, listen, all of my friends and allies do. But I give you my word that I will shut down the slavers in these settlements. Again, Nimander's strength lies mostly in the fact that he's really good at convincing people of things that are plainly not true. I am no fool, Wielder. You cannot speak for all Barians. The Rana will have vengeance. You know, I consider that at least that's still him fooling, Relock because Relock thought he meant it. There's, you know, obviously no way. All right, no more words. Let's do the thing. So cannons kind of central. We're looking at 10 destruction, 6 creation, and 8 arcana per round. That's ugly. They're going to be able to do a lot of damage. But we have our own magic, and we have the cannons, and hopefully that'll be good enough. Alright, now unfortunately, in a big mixed forces battle like this, the Burrower is way more likely to get value because I can't afford to move most of my units. Okay. Nine Tinkerers is a lot less impressive. What's your actual movement? 5. So we could go around the dragon to generate some damage on the F draw. We're gonna pay for it very severely, however. Yeah, I mean we gotta get the damage. And also, remember, even if we lose this, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're in all that bad of a shape. We can lose this battle and still not end up losing enough beacons for it to matter. Maybe I shouldn't have put a guy here because that makes this space no longer a very good spot to fire the cannon, when that space was a really good spot to fire the cannon before. Well, too late now. Okay, the full stack of inventors also can't get a fucking kill. 197 health. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to make it work. So the question is, where could I stand that would be like... How could we set this up so it would be better? Swap is chaos and creation. We're not generating any creation. Yeah, being able to like move here then swap with that F draw or something would give us some kind of advance. I guess I can just lay a mine? The cannons are not going to do enough damage to clear out the dragons by themselves. Yeah. Okay. I am just going to have to accept the painful counterattack. Alright, Namander's Justice is leveled up to 2 at least. Are we going to have Onslaught in this force? We're not, right? 6 Order, 6 Chaos. Actually, we're close. So we'll generate Destruction, Destruction, Destruction. No, so we won't have it. We'll have a lot of extra destruction. Then yeah, I guess I better do some extra damage here. The cannons are guaranteed to do 120-ish damage. Offense is 81 against the dragons, 67 defense. So okay, a little bit more. But yeah, like we might actually have to put a little bit more damage on. Okay, 160. We can probably get there off of 160. Okay. So I think what we're going to do... Oh right, I forget. I can't just drop the shot in the middle anyway. I would need there to be an enemy there. This thing. Like I don't actually care about hitting the tremor, right? This thing just doesn't do it. It doesn't do any damage. So I can just shoot them directly. I could. We have a warp step. I could just warp step this guy out of there and shoot them directly. God, all of the enemies are about to get their turn simultaneously. Trying to figure out like what's the combination of spells that we cast before we give up the turn. There's something we said for warping the cannon. Well, we can't guarantee it will get to a safe place anyway, because I'm sure their burrower is going to come up next to the cannon, right? The question is just like, what do I want to stop them from doing? Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the warp on this guy. Put him over there. Just kill the dragon. Ah, that's unfortunate. I didn't think about that. Alright, we're still winning. Wow, that thing did way more damage than those things generally do. At this point... Fireball in this location is good, not great. Fireball in this location only kills 2 of these guys, really? Forget how much HP they have. So Fireball right here won't kill even 1 dragon. It's incredible. Yeah, we can shut you off at least. I can... Because of the Destroy Essence on our Artificers, we're not going to get the Justice in time to kill the dragon with it. Which is incredibly annoying. Can run over here and just... Yeah, geez. I mean... This stack of protectors is going to be a huge problem. And there really isn't anything that can be done about that, I think. At least their offense isn't very good. Yeah, I guess I accept this. And then we try to work on this guy. So like what I might do is Chaos Step you to like here to make room for the gunner to run in and melee attack since we've now spent this thing's retaliation. We just try to remove as many of these as possible this turn. Because we can get rid of quite a few of them. I think it's worth moving on this one. Just get us in deadly range. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Wow, big dimensional door. It's got a lot of distance. Okay, Justice on the dragons is a no-brainer, I think. Let's again consume that retaliation as quickly as possible. I can't warp you. So all you can do is punch this guy and die to the retaliation, or not do that and have no effect on the battle. Yeah, no, we lose. We did a lot of damage, though. It's probably unnecessary. Okay, yeah, we did a lot of damage there, and that might be enough to... Like, this army doesn't have a lot of recruitment structures available. I lost some decent gear. So everything's gonna make for the portal and try to arm up, I guess. But really, all that has to happen is we need for our beacons not to flip too much. Right, like our victory timer, of course, they're gonna... as the last beacon was claimed, Bigley sensed a change, like a firing pin lining up. He was connected, not just with that beacon, but all that they had claimed. This was the power he needed to save Barya and pay his last debts. Okay, so enter a beacon with Bigley. So we lost this beacon, but we still have one over here. I'm like trying to figure out what is the best way to defend our situation. And the answer is probably to come over here and fight Coral, but I hate that. Yeah, the problem is the rally point and the beacon are super far apart. I'm wondering if entering a beacon is going to trigger a game end. It shouldn't, right? We were told that there was a 3-turn timer. I don't know. I guess the only thing to do is see, right? Because we can't enter a beacon and recruit troops this turn. We're just too far away from everything. All right, let's see what happens. Bigley stood outside the beacon, but as he got ready to enter, he suddenly heard a voice in his mind. Bigley Satherdown, you've been marked by my crest. Empress Aurelia, I assume. Thanks to you, I am Aurelia Eternal now. Retrieving the crest led my faithful to me, and now I am free. As a reward for your service, take the oath, and you can be honored for eternity. I spit on your oath. I will never serve. And yet, in a way, you already have. Then perhaps you'd serve better as the enemy of the people. The one who brought the dragons back, the one who made an enemy of Arleon, and the one who sent his friend to die. Well, you have a wicked heart, and I'll be glad to use these beacons to blast your legions to bits. I will mourn your passing. You would make a worthy foe, something for the people to hate. Instead, my sacrifice will be a rallying cry for Barya to stand against you. So you hope. And hope is a beautiful thing. With those final words, Bigley forced the Empress from his mind and turned once more toward the beacon. The steps of the old tinkersmith echoed as he made his way up to the top of the beacon. He only wished he would have had one more cup of tea with his dear friend Everthink, where they didn't talk of war and politics, but only marveled at the simple wonders of the world. The flight of a desert hawk, the glitter of the sands under a harvest moon, and the peace that comes with time spent in loving company. Okay. That did, in fact, complete the map, despite the fact that we were told it would take 3 turns. All right, well, listen, I'm not complaining, because we weren't going to get it the other way, I'm afraid. So, yeah. As Bigley stood at the top of the beacon, he felt as if the chaos inside him were calmed. He had made his choice, and whatever the danger, he would harness the beacons and use all his powers to bring down any and all who threatened Barya. As the beacons activated and their essence coursed through his body, he felt only joy and determination. He was free. How incredibly miserable and grim. Also, what chaos inside him? Bigley's whole thing this whole time has been like, he is surrounded by people who are driven by like reaction, but he has this like understanding of the world, and it's a wrong understanding, but at least it makes sense to him and it's solid. I I don't know. It doesn't always feel like all of the text for this was written by people who had read all the other text. But in any case, hey, look, a victory.
Amongst dunes of sand in the desert lands, far beneath the blazing sun, bigly faced our horse, both with pike and sword, realized what he had done. As he learned what beacons do, well, he knew his death was due. All the things he's done, weight so heavy on the scale, he will pay the price. Pictured Silk Spool's face, all he's done had led to this, he will set it right with a sacrifice. With his sacrifice.
That's so Bigley's not really responsible for very much here, right? He talks about like all the things that he did wrong, but all of the stuff that's really wrong, like the stuff that he's actually correcting by quote unquote correcting by sacrificing himself to the beacons, like it's almost entirely stuff that he had no hand in, except for like he literally went and got the crest, but he went and got the crest because he had to, right? There's like a whole system of enforcement in place. It was that or die, presumably. We don't exactly know what the penalty for refusing an order is under this like debt system, but like, you know, die, or maybe like they throw a bunch extra on your debt and then you'd still die in debt. He's already pretty close to death, one has to assume, from his age. So like, but I guess it does work quite well as like, it's interesting as a commentary on the way that things like this pass into legend. Right, the name of the game is Songs of Conquest. So like it makes sense for it to thematically be about the songs more than I have been taking it to be, and that is an interesting way to think of like this huge dramatic thing happened, and this man threw his life away for a system that never considered him anything more than garbage to be thrown away, and he had just managed to narrowly avoid it all this time until it looked like he was going to escape, at which point he goes on the gears. And the way the system spins that is that it was a brave sacrifice. You know, like, we make myth of it so that we can make sense of it, so that we can make a narrative of it that doesn't say, hey, this whole indebtedness system actually is just like a terrible deal for everybody except for the person or people at the very, very top. And even if you trust it, even if you work your whole life by the rules, you're never going to escape. At the moment when it looks like you would escape, something's going to happen. You're never going to be free. We may not always use the word slave, but that's what this system of debt is doing, right? It is effectively enslaving these people, and there isn't an exit, which is a thing that only the Rana seem to be clear on. Yeah, that's really interesting. The narrative and the way it sort of like bends away from the truth is really interesting in that light. Okay, I dig it. So we did it. We cleared the Barya campaign, and that means there is just the one campaign remaining. We're gonna head back here. I do think that this is kind of interesting as like, it's interesting that it's not a cap to the story. Right, Barya, or at least this region, it's not clear exactly how much power the beacons have. Will they cover an area outside of the actual geographical locations of the beacons? But like this area is made unlivable for the Rana and whatnot, like this little area, but it doesn't actually end the rebellion. It probably kills Relock, but obviously Relock is not the most important person in that structure. And it kills some of the undead. It seems like some of the more important undead, but I don't know that it ends the surge of it. Like it definitely doesn't end the surge of Aurelia Eternal either. So it is kind of interesting how much things aren't closed at the end of these stories. I guess they wanted to leave the war as like an ongoing thing, because I know they're planning to release more campaigns and more stories in the future. In any case, that was the end of the Barian campaign. The fourth song, The Price of Freedom, turns out too high, infinite. When you come back next time, we're headed back to the third song, Together for Her, where we will finally get to play as the undead. It's the thing I've been looking forward to basically since we started the series. So come back next time for that, and we'll see you then.